With Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance, I can get auto, home, life, even banking all in one place. Pretty convenient if you ask me.
Always the home team. Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Visit us online at gfbinsurance.com.
Okay, Erik Walden. Erik, first of all, thank you for always coming back and doing these. We got a bunch of kids out here today. Why is this important to you?
Oh, man, this is where I'm from. This is what kind of grounded me. Like I said, mama raised me, 478 made me, so it's just a blessing to be back, man. And, this is what I do, like give back, because they've been supporting me through it all, good, bad, and different. So this is the least I can do.
We could have a kid out here now, maybe in the NFL one day.
Absolutely, and that's the message. Like, no matter where you come from, your background, your circumstances, like we're not using that as an excuse. Like everybody, and then it could be worse, and it's somebody who's going through worse. So that's how I try to view things and approach everyday living with that mindset.
A lot of kids out here today, a lot of interest here. Tell me about your career.
I feel great. I'm still going to play. I'm a little older now, so I don't feel like I need to do all the OTAs. From a mental standpoint, physical standpoint, I know how to get myself ready. So, hopefully everything works out, which it will. We'll sign somewhere in camp, when it get real, when the pads come on, and, we'll take care of it from there.
So much controversy in the NFL about kneeling for the national anthem. What do you think about that, being from Dublin? I know you support your teammates, obviously, but where do you stand there?
I get the message. I get everything they're trying to do, but at the same time, I feel like they kind of take away from, I ain't going to say not important, but for what's important for them 3 hours, and that's that football game. So my mindset is I'm focused on the game, so I'm used to standing up. That's what I'm going to continue to do. Everybody's different. You can protest differently, and then verbally, taking a knee, whatever. Each man to each his own. But me, I'm going to stand. That I've been standing, so I'm not going to change because a certain group doing it. I'm always do me. And so, like I said, it's really to each his own.
And we respect each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we should do.
Absolutely.
Because we all have different beliefs.
Different beliefs, different backgrounds, so it's all about respect.
Well, I see these kids out here, when they look at you, they look up to you. And you are a role model to them. So do you see yourself as a role model?
Oh, yeah, I do, but in the same sense, man, I'm coming out here being a little kid. They keep me younger. They bring the kid out of me. So that's kind of like my mindset, just being a kid. I'm learning just as much from them as they learning from me. And so, I try to absorb much as I can and just embrace it, man. You never know. Life's short. But at the same time, when you have an opportunity to come back and do something like this, it's a wonderful thing.
When you cross that Lawrence County line, you're coming back home. Tell me how you feel.
I feel great every time. Every time I get off on that Dexter Dudley exit and make that left, I'm back at the crib. So, man, it's just like I said, I love where I'm from, man. They've been so supportive through it all. You never have so many people tell me they praying for me. Like, that means a lot, man. That's probably the most a person can do for me. No gift, no nothing. Like, I'm praying for you, we're proud of you. That means a lot. So I just try to make sure I keep making them proud.
Well, that's where you come from. We're a praying people, and when somebody humbles themselves and prays for you, it's an awesome feeling.
Absolutely.
I know for any of us. Finally, your family, so important to you, I know, and they're a big part of this, what we're doing today. Talk about your family a little bit.
Man, my family the reason why I'm here, man. Everybody done played a pivotal part, all my coaches, teachers, and my parents. And, just that support, that encouragement. It ain't always pretty. We athletes, we get down, depressed too. But when you got somebody encourage you, uplifting you, then that encourage you to keep going, and you don't want to let them people down.
Yeah. Erik, thank you so much for coming back.
Absolutely.
Not only this, but what you do around Christmas. You give back to this community.
Yeah, we're going to keep going. We're just getting started.
And, I can't thank you enough on behalf of the community, but we appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Erik. Okay, thank you so much.
If you're in the market for affordable transportation, come on into Dublin Auto Sales. Getting to work, school, or around town every day requires dependable transportation. And that's what you'll find at Dublin Auto Sales, offering in-house financing too, so credit is never an issue. See Wayne Kemp or any of his friendly staff, Bill Topping, Alan Fields, TJ DeRochi, or Freddie Cook. Look for Dublin Auto Sales at 1701 Telfair Street and 406 North Jefferson, and also at 511 North Jefferson, where you'll find a great deal. Dublin Auto Sales. Affordable transportation you can count on.
Now I have with me, no introduction needed here, but Coach Roger Holmes, Dublin High School. You actually came to Dublin High School. It was Eric's senior year. Tell me about him playing for you.
Well, Eric was a very, very talented young man, and shoot, we butted heads a little bit. We still laugh about it, about changing his position, you know, but Erik Walden was a tremendous leader of our football team. I think he rose to his highest levels probably in the games that meant the most. To me, his coming out party was in Fort Valley against a great Peach County team. Had a great night there. A game that a lot of people say is the best game they ever watched in the Shamrock Bowl, Cedartown game. The winner of that one went on to play in the Georgia Dome, and Eric had a tremendous night there against Cedartown. But, you know, you got to be so proud of Eric because he's turned into a great pro. He's a very humble young man that always is positive. He's so respectful to everyone, and you know, to me, that's what I'm the most proud of, is to be able to be associated with a young man of his caliber, of his stature, but he's still so down to earth.
Yeah, he does make us proud, and for kids watching now, even kids out here, Coach, if you set those goals high and you work hard, there's players out here, kids out here now may play in the NFL.
There certainly are.
They may be doctors or lawyers. Don't matter what they do, but
they can be successful.
Amen.
If they will apply themselves from 8 to 3 every day that they're in school, then the limits there are no limits. You know, I mean, you can reach whatever you're trying to do, but it takes hard work. It takes dedication, not just to be an athlete, but you got to take care of it in the academic end. And to this day, I still tell people the thing that made me the most proud about Eric was after he got to Middle Tennessee, continued to mature, he ended up being named the academic award winner for the athletic department at Middle Tennessee. That doesn't come from somebody that is not willing to put in that right effort. And that's why he's made it in the league as long as he has.
And we're here talking about football, but, you know, me and you have talked many times. Football teaches you a lot about the game of life, and it's not a game, but it teaches you about life. And you hit on one thing, but kids watching us right now, kids out here, whether you ever play football or not, get those grades. I know you preach that to your kids, but it don't matter if you want to bowl or if you want to play in the band, whatever you want to do, but get those grades.
At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, you know, because that's what's going to take care of you for the rest of your life, you know, and it always starts hitting home about your junior year and about the 1st of April, because that's when all the college coaches start coming around and they start recruiting, and they're looking for talent. Talent is everywhere, but a kid that has the talent and has the grades and everything it takes to be able to move on to the next level, that pool gets more narrow. And it's only because you put more time into other things than you have your academics. So we want them to be great football players. Before that, we want them to be great citizens. But then really and truly, if they're not a great student, then the road stops when you finish high school. And that's one of the things I read a lot. You know, every time I get a chance, I Google Erik Walden, see what's going on in his career. And, you know, the thing that I'm impressed with is when you look at places that he's played, coaches talking about him, they talk about his leadership and his work ethic. Now, he's a great player, but it's not about his talent. It's about the leadership and what he brings to the locker room and his ability to learn the playbook and do the things it takes. That's why he's made a great pro.
And when I asked him a little while about Coach, I know you're behind the camera, you might not could hear with the music, but when I asked him about kneeling for the national anthem. And to tell me a kid, a young man, a man now from Dublin, Georgia, who stands for that national anthem, he respects our country, and yet you respect others' rights too. Yeah. We live in America, you have every right to, if you want to stand or kneel or whatever, but for him to stand for that national anthem, because his roots are deep here in Dublin, Georgia, and that's what's important to him.
Well, I can't tell you that every time I've watched him on TV, I have paid attention. And every time I've looked, Erik's been standing proud to represent the United States of America. And that makes me proud to know he's doing that.
Absolutely. And last thing, tell me what's going on this summer at Dublin High School, the Fighting Irish.
Well, we got a lot of work, got a lot of improvements to do. You know, our schedule is looking phenomenal, especially the early part you mentioned a few minutes ago. But we're opening with ECI. Last year's state runner-ups or state semifinal team, and got a lot of players back. Then we're going up to Tatnall. We're playing Tatnall Square in Mercer on a Saturday afternoon in a doubleheader. Our game with Tatnall Square is at 5 on August 25th, I think it is.
Ready to be hot?
I'm afraid it's going to be too hot. And we turn around, and then our folks that buy the tickets, and we already have those tickets, and would love for you to buy them here because we get the money from that. If you buy them there, it gets split among everybody. But the second game that you get into with that ticket also is Peach County versus Northside Warner Robins. Wow. What a game. That one starts, you know, right after hours. So great day there. Then we've got Swainsboro and Brooks County. You know, you asked me about Brooks County. Why are we playing Brooks County? Well, what happens is when you've got two football teams that are pretty good, people are always jockeying around for position, trying to find somebody they think they can beat, and then you get down to the point where you're Brooks County and you say, well, all I got left is Dublin, and Dublin says all I got left is Brooks County. We better hook this up before we don't have a game. So, but
I didn't even know where Brooks County was. You had to tell me.
Oh, it's right down there with Thomasville, and it's one of the top 10 programs in the state every year in AA, and be a tremendous measuring stick for us right before we go into region play.
But you don't start off, what just amazes me about you, a lot of football teams start off with teams they think they can beat. You always start out, think about ECI, Tatnall, they'll hit you in the mouth every game, no matter what kind of season they're having. And Swainsboro, of course I know it's our region, but you got tough teams here.
Well, we do, and Swainsboro is not in our region now, but one of the things, the two longest rivals in Dublin history are Dodge County and Swainsboro. And there's no way that I don't want to be able to keep those teams on our schedule because Dublin has played them more than any teams in the history of Dublin High School. So we've got a tough schedule. Part of that is because we know it's going to make us better. Part of it is because of the history and tradition of our school. Yeah. You don't always get a lot of people that are looking forward to come and play you. So, you know, we're excited about our football team. We've had a really good off season in the weight room. Our kids are strong. Time will tell, you know, and I think there's going to be some very exciting young men out there for our people here in Dublin, Lawrence County to look at this year.
Well, we're ready to get fired up. We've already done our schedule for the game of the week. We're already excited about football.
Hey,
we got to get Stan pumped up for the coaches show.
It won't be hard to get Stan pumped up. Stan will be ready when the time
But that's
comes.
the hardest thing we got. We got it up this year. So, well, good luck, and I hope you have a good summer. I know you're going to get some fishing in there somewhere.
Well, I hope to. I know one thing. I'm dying to go. But, hey, we appreciate what you guys do with TV 35. This is a great event. You didn't have to be here today, but it shows what's going on in our community, and we appreciate all that y'all do for high school football and for Dublin and Lawrence County.
For expert computer repair service, count on Hometown Supply. Repairs on desktops, laptops, iPads, and more. Hometown Supply offers in-store and on-site computer repair service, including removal of viruses, recovering data, replacing screens, battery replacement, performing upgrades, and much more. From password recovery, hard drive replacement, keyboard repair, antivirus software installation, complete service made easy and convenient. For professional and personal computer repair, call on Hometown Supply, your experts for computer repair service. Phone 272-0345 or visit us across from the skyscraper in downtown Dublin. For expert computer repair service, count on Hometown Supply.
I have with me now Katrina Walker. This is Erik's sister, And I know you're proud. And talking to Erik, it's just so good to see a young man from Dublin come back and really not just come back, but he wants to come back and work with these kids, don't he?
Yes. Erik he strives and he wants so much, and he wants for the other kids to look at this and find their way out. I mean, he's just been a remarkable brother, student, even in high school. He's always been active and about doing things, and we are just so proud of him. Yeah. I get emotional just thinking about, the things that he's done. And although, we've had some ups and downs, but as a family, we stood together whole, and we just wouldn't take nothing for it.
Yeah, and that's life, though.
Yes, it's life.
Life deals you tough things sometimes.
Yes.
And I look around these kids, and some of them come from, tough circumstances.
Right.
Like a lot of us throughout this community. There's a lot of poverty in this community, but looking at these kids' faces, when they look at Erik, I mean, he's their hero.
Yes.
He's their role model.
Yes. Erik, for some had tried to get him to have the camp on the other side of town, but Erik said, no, this is where it's needed.
That's right.
And he has stuck to that, and I'm just so proud of him. He's remarkable, and he keeps striving. No matter what the setbacks, he just keeps striving. He really does.
Tell me about Erik when he was little, back growing up.
Oh my goodness. I'll tell y'all one thing. Busy. We was at home one day. I'm gonna tell this. Me and his dad, he was Gerald. We was at home, and we looked. Erik done went in the refrigerator, flour all over him, and he was a little fella. Come in my room one day. I'm up here laying up here asleep. Hit me upside the head with a whatnot. But I'm his Tebow. That's what he calls me.
How about
and and that's what he calls me, Tebow. And I love him. He's just remarkable. He is a remarkable brother.
Where did that come from, the Tebow?
I don't know, actually. He used to sit and just sing that. Tebow, I don't know.
Wow, so we got a singer too. I'm getting all kind of breaking news here. See, ESPN don't know stuff like this. We got the woman on the front line, so he can sing too. He's just got all kind of talent.
He can sing a little bit. He can sing
Did he sing in the choir or something?
We did coming up, and my mom, she can sing pretty good. We did sing it in the choir, but he was real little. But he's just remarkable, and I keep going to that.
No, but you're absolutely right.
He's remarkable.
And every time I interview Erik, I see a man that believes and embodies prayer and his love of country and his love of community. To go to all these cities he goes to playing in the NFL, but yet still loves Dublin, Georgia, because a lot of athletes don't do what he does.
Yes. It's just remarkable that he comes and gives back, because I guess in a point they don't have to, but I'm so proud that that's what he wants to do. It's just remarkable. And
Tell me about the holidays. He always does something big around Christmas.
Well, I know he does the thing for the tree, decorate a tree. The kids, they get too much stuff. Thanksgiving now we do the turkeys.
Right.
He's not here, but we get out as a family and we give out the turkeys and everything. Now, I don't know what else he do. Ain't no telling.
Ain't no telling what he does.
Ain't no telling, but he does do a lot of things, and he also does the haircut thing when the kids go back to school.
Right.
He does do that too.
Wow.
It's remarkable. Yeah.
He won't know the years down the road how important it was, because we know the time you spend in a child's life is never wasted.
Right.
And to do this on a Saturday, he don't have to be here. You said that a couple of times.
Yeah.
He don't have to be here.
Yeah, but I'm so proud that that's in him, and I think our mom, it's just the kind of mom we have. It's just, I get teary-eyed because she's a wonderful lady, and I know everybody will say that about their mom, but she's just remarkable. And her values, and she always wants us to stay humble. She's proud of all her kids, no matter what you do, long as you are doing something good, you know, and she's there, and she's a praying mom, too. I would say that. She's a praying mom. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Katrina, for talking to me.
And I hope Erik don't get me for telling all these stories.
We got some good stories on Erik. We're going to save these in the archives for years to come now. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for what y'all do.
I'm Marcus Clements with Clements & King Insurance. Are you on Medicare or about to go on Medicare? Clements & King Insurance has all the answers to all that's available to you when you reach this age. Clements & King Insurance for all your health and life insurance needs.
Okay, Mom and Dad. I've been talking to Katrina and Erik, and Erik's got a loud horn there, don't he, Mama?
Yes, he does.
Did you blow a horn like that when he was growing up?
Yes, I had to blow a horn for Erik.
I've been getting all kind of stories here, y'all, about Erik growing up. I understand he can sing. He likes to cut the fool, and Katrina said she remembers one day when he got in the refrigerator and got the flour and got it everywhere. So he was mischievous like a lot of us guys, right?
Right. You're right about that.
Tell me about Erik growing up.
Well, you know, when I came into every life, I think you about 11 years old, you know, and since I've known him, you know, I done seen him grow up to be a fantastic man, you know, and he don't mind giving back to the community, you know, and he do a lot of wonderful things, you know, and every time he come home, you know, he always, you know, try to do the right thing, you know, and that's the main thing, you know, doing the right thing for the right reason. And, you know, you can see it around here today, you know, how wonderful people come out and support him, and, you know, all the kids seem like they're having a good time, you know, and that's what it's all about, the young people. You know, try to keep them, let them know, you know, that there's a better way, you know, you don't have to go out there in the street and do different things, you know, just study your books and get your education, and they don't tell you what God gonna do for you.
Amen.
So, you know, you gotta, you know, just be persistent, you know, and be patient, you know, and stay humble, you know, and everything gonna work out for the best.
Yeah, and you said something, Mom, that he just mentioned God, and I know that was important around y'all's home with them growing up. Erik talked about prayer, how important it is for people that tell him that they pray for him, his love of country, where he stands for the national anthem and respects our country. That come right from his roots.
Yes. Erik was raised up on prayer in the church. You know, prayer just brought him, you know, and I'm just so proud of him, because, I mean, when he got out of high school, this is something he had in his mind. I didn't have to make decisions for him. He said, Mom, I'm going to college. And it just blew me away, because, you know, he says, yes, I'm going. And then when he finished college, he told me, he says, Mama, I'm going to try for NFL. And I told him, I said, son, you'll probably never make it, sweetie. I said, so be prepared. You know, I want you to be able to take it. He says, well, he said, if I don't, I'm going to feel bad. He said, and I feel like if anybody else can do it, I'm not going to do it. So when he came home that day, you know, I said, oh my God, I don't want my son to be so disappointed. And he even told me, he says, Mama, they might not get me Saturday. He said, but now come on, Mama, Sunday. The next day I should get there, you know. And I still didn't believe him. My daughter and I, you know, we laughed and we got behind his back and we said, oh Lord, poor little pitiful child, you know. But he never gave up. And that was getting close to the end, you know. And he says, well, I thought they would have picked me at some point. I said, oh my Lord. And you know, I had given up. So he went to his room and closed his door. So my oldest son, the phone rung. And he said, are you guys looking at the same television I'm looking at? I said, yeah, we was looking. He said, we just saw Erik's name go across the screen. I said, Erik who? He said, Erik Walden. I said, my Erik Walden. They said, yeah. I said, oh my God. And you know, he acted as if it didn't really come to us a big prize. This is something he, you know, had in his mind. And since he has been there, I admire him because he never forget where he come from. He loved his community. He loved the people. You know, he just loved his family. I mean, he's great with his family. You know, I gotta give him that. And therefore, we do all we do to support him.
Yeah. Yes. And I keep hearing, never give up. And what does that say to these kids out here now, or kids watching us on TV right now? You know, Erik never gave up. He stayed in the books. He made good grades. And it can't be easy. You get off in college, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. But, you know, to never give up, what does that say to these kids?
Well, you know, I remember when we went to his graduation in Middle Tennessee State University, you know, in his college, in his high school graduation, you know, and we was right there to support him along the way. And I think these kids needs the support of their families, you know, their mom and dad, you know, and let them know, you know, that get your education. You know, once you get that education, you may not be drafted in the NFL or pro basketball player, but you're always going to have that to fall back on. So that's what we mean by don't give up. You know, just keep pressing forward and everything going to work out for the best. And one thing I like to say when my wife was talking about Erik being drafted, we always going to be grateful for the Dallas Cowboys. You know, that's the first team that drafted Erik Walden, and I mean, you know, that was a blessing in the skies right there. You know, so the Dallas Cowboys gonna always be in our heart. You know, that was the first team. He didn't make the cut, but that's the start of where he at today.
Amen.
So you know, we just grateful and we proud that you know he doing things you know that unbelievable. You know, 'cause a lot of people they get all these, you know, good jobs, education and stuff like that. They forget where they come from.
Yeah.
You know, but coming back over here in this community, you know, will make it so worthwhile.
I
agree. Know, so yeah.
I agree. Before I let you go, you know, when we were growing up, the churches were full. You had to get there early to get a pew, somewhere to sit. It's not like that in our churches. My church, your church, the world church.
Right.
But let's talk to people watching us right now. Faith has been important in Erik's life and your life. It's just meeting you. There's a spirit about you, and you put God first.
Yes.
What do you say to people out here that may be lost in this dark world? What would you say to them about getting back in church?
Well, I would say you might be lost, but believe me, God is there. God is there. He's there for you. There's nothing too big He can do and nothing too small.
Amen.
So never give up. Keep the faith. Believe in Him. Pray, and you will be successful. And it might not happen at the time you want it to, but just give Him time, and it'll work out. It really will. Yes.
We're here today at Bank of Dudley to discuss business loans. So many businesses and industries trust the Bank of Dudley for a variety of financing alternatives to suit your specific needs, from short-term loans to help with cash flow, loans to purchase equipment or facilities. At Bank of Dudley, we have commercial mortgage loans, capital improvement loans for construction or renovation. We can help with your business vehicle loans or for a small business line of credit. In other words, Bank of Dudley has your business covered. No matter what it is, you can trust the lenders at the Bank of Dudley with 5 convenient locations: East Dublin, downtown Dublin, Veterans Boulevard, Dudley, and Jeffersonville. The Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. I have with me now Juwan Wells, also a Dublin High graduate. Juwan, you're playing at Liberty. What's going on?
This year, it's a pretty exciting thing. We just transition to FBS. So, it's just a lot of excitement around, and you just knowing that you got to work harder just because you're going to be playing better competition during the season.
Why was it important for you to come out today and work with Erik with these kids?
I mean, it's great that, you can just give back to the young ones, that you wish, we could have had something like this when we was their age, just giving back, instilling them like functional drills and stuff that they can learn to be a better player than we are today.
And talk to the kids that may be watching us, couldn't make it out here today, about working in school and what football taught you in high school.
I mean, the number one thing, you got to get your work in the classroom. I mean, without doing that, you're not even going to be able to touch the field. But, just respecting the coaches and trusting whatever they say is going to make you better, and not, disrespecting them, and then just trusting your teammates and knowing that they're going to have your back and you have their back at all times.
And playing football, when you get out in life, what lessons do you learn in football that carries you now that you're going away and you really, I know you're not all alone, but you're out there making your own decisions?
The biggest thing I would say is overcoming adversity. You know, because there's gonna be a lot of, you know, trials and things they're gonna be throwing at your way that you're not really sure how you're gonna get over it, but you just gotta trust the process and just, you know, push through.
And Coach Holmes, you played for Coach Holmes for I guess what,
4 years.
4 years. Tell me about Coach Holmes, your relationship there.
Great man. You know, I always come back and chop it up with him when I come back, and we always joke around, and you know, it's just a good thing, you know, that I can go to college and have a nice facility to come back and work out in.
Yeah. And there's a lot of kids walking the halls in all our schools that are not playing football. What would you say to encourage them to get out? Because everybody's on these games now and staying in the house. And I know you was an outside person. You wanted to play football. But what would you say to those kids?
I would just say, you know, just get into sports. You know, that's the best thing you can do if you want to find an easy way to make it out. You know, it's about 100 people on the roster in college football. So you work hard and grind. You know, they giving out scholarships these days just to fill up the roster. So, you know, you just trust the process and grind. You know, you can get a scholarship real easy.
Last thing, you mentioned grades. I know that's important. Talk about that just a minute.
I mean, you know, like my uncle and my parents always tell me, you know, football ain't gonna last forever. So you gotta have something to, you know, look back on, you know, after football is done. So that's when, you know, you're in college, you got your major, you got what you went to school 4 or 5 years for to look back on, because you're not gonna play football the rest of your life. So that's why I always think about it that way.
Juwan, thank you, brother. Thank you for coming back and doing this for these kids today.
No problem.